Who brings a suitcase to their wedding? Lily was my high school sweetheart. I asked her out in 10th grade and we were inseparable ever since then. Everyone thought we were going all the way, and honestly, I did too. When I proposed to her after we graduated from college, she was so excited and said yes instantly, squealing happily. She hugged me tightly and I put the ring on her finger as she stared at it in awe. I was ready to marry the love of my life. She decided that she didn't want to have the wedding for at least 6 months, claiming she needed the time to plan and save up for it. I didn't mind because it gave me time to save up for it too. The days leading up to the wedding, I noticed little changes in Lily. She became withdrawn. She stopped talking to me and answering my texts and calls. She started sleeping on the couch, claiming she was too tired and needed her sleep without me being a distraction. Then I noticed she started moving stuff out of the apartment. First it was a lamp, then her couch disappeared, and she stopped sleeping at the apartment altogether. When I confronted her about it, she just said that she was crashing at a friend's house because of her late hours in the office. I wasn't stupid, something was going on, but I said nothing and continued on like nothing was wrong. The day of the wedding came around, and I noticed she put a packed suitcase in the trunk of her car. That confused me, but I didn't say anything about it. I went to the church, ready to marry my bride. I noticed that her bridesmaids were a little fidgety, and her maid of honor looked annoyed about something. She wouldn't meet my eyes when I greeted them at the church entrance. They were waiting for Lily's arrival. I continued into the church where the ceremony was taking place and started greeting guests and shaking hands as I strolled down the aisle to the front of the room. My best friend Liam stood beside me and clapped me hard on the back, a huge smile on his face. But the smile seemed forced and unnatural. Something was going on, and my stomach sank as I thought about it. I glanced at Liam, suddenly nervous. "Did you bring the marriage certificate?" I asked. He nodded. "It's in the bridal suite of the hotel," he answered. I nodded back, feeling a little better. "We haven't signed it yet, but she promised she would sign it once we got to the hotel tonight for our honeymoon." The orchestra began playing softly, and I shut up as Lily strolled down the aisle, hanging off her dad's arm. She smiled brightly, but it looked strained as she got closer to me. She was absolutely gorgeous, and I felt myself tearing up a little bit. "She's beautiful," Liam whispered beside me. "Yes, she is," I agreed softly. Lily stopped in front of me and glanced at Liam, shooting him a real smile that almost had me frowning. The ceremony was perfect. I stared into her eyes, and I was completely in love with her and ready for this next chapter of our lives. We kissed and exchanged rings, and the audience immediately started clapping and cheering for us. But when I glanced at Lily, I saw a tear sliding down her cheek, and it wasn't a happy tear. She was smiling, but it was forced and didn't reach her eyes. What was going on? We parted ways outside of the chapel, where she took off toward the bridal suite of the hotel to get ready for the reception. I changed in one of the chapel's dressing rooms and headed toward the huge ballroom in the hotel where the reception was being held. We agreed I was going to meet Lily at the door, but she wasn't there when I got there, so I waited, but she never showed. Eventually, I entered the ballroom and strolled around, shaking hands and accepting congratulations from friends and family. I noticed Liam was gone too. My heart sank as I remembered the suitcase in Lily's car. I pulled out my phone and tried to call her, but the call went straight to voicemail, so I tried Liam and he answered on the third ring. "Where are you?" I demanded. He laughed coldly. "Somewhere past the state border," he answered. "You lost, dude." "Sorry, not sorry." I frowned in confusion. "What are you talking about?" I asked. "Lily," he answered. "She fell in love with me. We fell in love with each other." My hands started shaking and tears entered my eyes. "She ran off with you," I muttered. "Yep," he said cheerfully. "Enjoy your life." Then he hung up on me. I spent the rest of the evening thanking guests for coming and sending them on their way. It was only in the safety of my home that night that I completely lost it.